there is really a lot culturally going on with the United States right now, and even much of the world. Now, I refer to individuals like Andrew Tate and the utter nonsensical hatred that for women that comes out of him. I mean, it's pretty obvious. And then you get people on TikTok or YouTube or other social media that find clips of women saying, "Oh, a man is worthless. What do we all need you for?" and whatnot. What if I told you that both were bad? That relations between men and women are completely poisoned. And capitalism plays a very large role in that, in alienation. So think about this. They only want a man who's got money. Wow. Someone's income is tied to their value in society? If that isn't to be the epitome of capitalism, what is? That couldn't be any more right in front of our face. These problems didn't happen in socialism because they had different social relations, which were created by different relationships to the means of production. Socialist countries don't have this problem. Socialist countries don't have the non-stop hatred towards each other. They, generally speaking, don't have the toxic masculinity. Yes, there is toxic masculinity. Andrew Tate's a pretty damn good example of it. But at the same time, there is also toxic femininity. There is. Anytime a woman makes a false accusation and then turns around and says, "Me too," and then, stains every woman who has been abused because she lied. And I know what many of you are saying. Oh, it's not a problem. It is. There are false accusations made. You can't say false accusations aren't made. Of course they're made. You could argue what percentage. You could argue what their numbers are. You could argue what kind of frequency. You could even argue the degree. But you cannot argue that they don't happen. Men and women have been pointed directly to each other and posed as enemies, rather than simply stopping patriarchy or misogyny. In a way, it's actually gotten worse, and that women have started to do the same thing. There is some truth to the complaints on both sides because of the poisonous relationships that men and women have today. There is people being judgmental. Oh, men don't want a woman that's overweight. And women don't want a man who's overweight. So what's your point? I mean, I'm not stupid. I know that when a woman looks at me, she notices that I'm overweight. I mean, the first thing a woman notices is my height, and then she notices my weight. That's just life. Both sexes are judgmental towards each other. And it happens. You're not going to solve that by being more judgmental of each other. You're only exacerbating the existing problem. And then the question then does arise. What do you do about it? I mean, people can complain, oh, it's unfair to short men that you don't like them because they're short. Well, judging someone by their height, yeah, that is unfair. Because it doesn't get to the heart of who they are. If that person on the inside is complete dog shite, then they're dog shite. Their height has nothing to do with it. Doing the same thing to a woman's weight. One does not have to do with the other. But here's the question. What are you going to do about it? You going to tell people that they have to date short men, or tell people that they have to date overweight women? You can't tell people who to date. Just like if somebody says they don't want to date someone of a different race, is that racist? Yeah, because you're excluding them based on race, not on the content of their character. But what are you going to do? Force them to date people of color? when you force people in situations like that, it's called rape. It's like when I've argued with a trans activist that they said it's oppressive when cis men don't want to be, when lesbian women don't want to have sex with a trans woman because they're lesbians. And then that's oppressive. And I said, fine, you can feel that way, but you can't go around attacking them for not wanting to have sex with them. Yes, they can because it's oppressive. Okay, do you know what consent is? You can't force them to have sex. And this trans woman couldn't get it through her head. People have the right to say no. Even if you don't like the reason, even if the reason is stupid, even if the reason is racist, because the alternative is to tell them that they have to. You don't have to have sex with anyone. You can't tell women you have to have sex with the short guys. You can't tell men you have to have sex with the overweight women. Then you start getting into a really, really creepy, rapey position. And consent, try not, in your social justice fervor, try not to forget that exists. And it's something that you need. Like Neil's saying, consent is not sexy, it's mandatory. It's not a plaything, it's a human right. Only through cultural change can we stop the existing prejudices that men and women have against each other. The same one, judge a man by the content of his character, not the color of his skin. That was the right message. No one forced you to be friends with anybody else. No one forced you to have a black family member. No one forced you to have black friends or anything like that. But the message was correct, even if it's not forced, to judge someone based on their character. And that is something that we should be doing. People should be free to choose to engage in sexual relations with whoever it is they want, as long as both parties consent. And you can't force one or the other, because that kind of goes against consent. I hope I'm making that clear. I hope I'm making what I'm trying to say clear so that this isn't taken the wrong way. Although I know people are going to take it the wrong way. A lot of the people who just attacked me, they're going to take it the wrong way anyway. But at least to you, my audience, you do understand what I'm trying to say, is that we have bad relations, and essentially nothing we do under capitalism is going to work. We need to fundamentally change the social and economic relations between people if we want things to get better. Because right now, they're pretty awful. Thank you for watching. If you like this program, then please head over to my Patreon page and set up a monthly donation. It's your donations that keep this program running. Also, if you would like, please rate, comment, subscribe, and share in various social media.